Encouraged by the runaway success of the Superman and Batman movies, Universal decided to try their luck with a big-budget, star-studded shadow feature film in 1994. Neil Adams drew this unused logo for the movie, with a plot adapted mostly from Gibson's Shiwan Khan stories. The Shadow starred Alec Baldwin as Lamont Cranston and the Shadow, Penelope Ann Miller as Margot Lane, John Lone as
Shiwan Khan, now descendant of Genghis Khan.
David Koepp said he was always struck by the slogan, "Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men?" And he decided that the Shadow was so familiar with evil because of the evil filling his own heart.
Sorry about that.
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? It really means the Shadow knows these things because he's been there. He lived this dark life himself.
Koepp's screenplay is about the Shadow's battle to overcome his own dark side. It's a story of atonement, with the Shadow struggling to atone for his sins by defeating the nefarious Shiwan Khan, the symbolic embodiment of the Shadow's evil past.
Go ahead, this smoke now. Find that light.
The film was directed by former video director Russell McKay. The studio had high hopes for a new zillion-dollar multi-film franchise, and there was a massive hype campaign leading up to the film's premiere.
Patrol 45's the mysterious crime fighter faces the evil Shiwan Khan, but Shadow's hidden no eyes cloud men's minds. Who knows? The Shadow knows.
I said somebody's coming.
Unfortunately, the movie also fell flat. But although it was not successful financially, it did feature a mostly faithful version of the Shadow, with many of the film's images directly inspired by Shadow pulps and comics. There's some interesting trivia too. Let's go through the whole movie, shall we? The film's bridge scene recalls Harry Vincent's night-shrouded first encounter with the living Shadow. In the movie's music video, Original Sin, sung by Taylor Dane, a CGI cape that's not in the movie version of this scene has been added to the Shadow. Here's the Shadow in his secret sanctum from a scene that didn't make the final cut. In a sequence recalling the DC comic by O'Neill and Kaluta, the Shadow changes identities in the back of Shreve's taxicab. The Shadow's high-altitude struggle with Khan's minions is inspired by two old pulp covers. There's a billboard in Times Square advertising Baldwin pianos, presumably the favorite piano of Shadow star Alec Baldwin. And in a joke on the old Camel cigarette slogan, "I'd walk a mile for a camel," there's another billboard that says, "I'd climb a mountain for a llama." Lamas are found in Tibet, where the shadow is said to have acquired his power to cloud men's minds. The original storyboard for this scene shows this joke was a later addition. The purba, the mystic knife that gives the shadow such a hard time in this movie, is actually a real Tibetan ritual instrument used to subjugate demons. The big mystery is why it almost gets as much screen time as the shadow. Here's the master of darkness emerging from his own shadow. And the original storyboard images of the scene. Shadow's mirrored showdown with Shiwan Khan recalls both this pulp cover for Room of Doom and the classic Orson Welles film Lady from Shanghai. 2 days before this scene was scheduled to shoot, a huge earthquake struck Los Angeles and shattered the set, destroying most of the mirrors. There was no time or money to rebuild, so producers were forced to shoot the film's big climactic scene without the showpiece Mirrors of the Mind set. Talk about 7 years bad luck. This storyboard from the film shows the scope of this scene as it was originally intended. When Lamont and Margot kiss at the end of the you can see a truck in the background with the last name of the film's director, Russell McKay. And here's Margot with her very own gyrosol ring from a scene cut out of the movie's ending. And here's the film's final scene, showing the shadow's face dissolving into a sleek metallic version of George Rosen's iconic Black Hush cover image. And on the CD soundtracked image, only one eye is artwork, and one eye is real. The Shadow will return to the silver screen soon, thanks to Shadow fans Sam Raimi and Michael Uslan. Raimi directed Darkman and the Spider-Man film series, and Uslan scripted an issue of DC's first Shadow series. The team is currently supervising production of a brand new Shadow movie. Does the Shadow know about this? The Shadow knows. Coming up next, don't move, don't breathe, don't stop now. It's time for the mind-blowing final chapter. Shock follows shock as the Shadow unmasks.